Sony's press release that went out at the same time worldwide across all their international, websites. You got like Sony Pictures Europe, Sony Pictures Japan, Sony Pictures
Mhm.
South America, whatever. They all updated and it was like, hey, Tom Holland is back as Spider-Man.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Spider-Man 4 confirmed. The Japanese one is really interesting because in the
Mhm.
same press release, if you translate it, they confirm that Venom is coming and that Tom Hardy's Venom The Last Dance and Knull leave the door open for him in the MCU. And you're like, hold up, this press release just confirmed that Tom Hardy's Venom is in Spider-Man 4 because they mention him by name. And in press releases, that's what you have to do. Like,
Mhm.
people will remember when they announced The Batman from Matt Reeves. We were on this podcast saying, guys, this is a reboot and Ben Affleck is not in it. They were like, what proof do you have? I was like, if he was, he would be in the text. It's an official press release. So I think Sony Japan might have
Mhm.
screwed up really badly here because they straight up just confirmed him.
No,
Like,
probably. It's not like it's the first time something this bad has happened.
mm,
With movie companies. Um, it's it's just weird that this is one thing they don't catch before the release is to make sure everybody's on the up or on the same page. But I mean, you knew something like this was going to happen with Sony Pictures with how they operate their
yeah.
spunk universe here because um they've been trying to I wouldn't say like ape off of the MCU to get some success or some people to come and
And they found none.
yeah, yeah, and trying to get people to come and watch their movie just on the happenstances that hey, like, there's Marvel characters in there, but not so much. It's gonna be so much connected until you know with updates and with premieres where they're saying maybe they'll be connected. Hey, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, and more than often, like Feige's just like, yeah, if they're gonna come, they're gonna come on our terms and what we
Mhm.
have planned, and then they have to retrofit an ending saying, "Oh yeah, never mind. Yeah, that was just an idea we had in our movie." But
Yeah, it's crazy.
like I don't like for Tom Hardy and that version of Venom, and then Null for whatever reason going to the MCU and potentially either fighting or teaming up with Tom Holland. It seems hollow because it's not earned at all,
At all, yeah.
and it like it's weird because like if they have to try to do it all in one movie, how is this gonna happen? Because we you still have you still have a version version of the symbiote over there in the MCU, and then what happened in the Last Dance.
I mean,
And then-
yeah, I mean, I think to me, right, if I look at what happens, spoilers for Venom The Last Dance, Venom the symbiote sacrifices himself and he's permanently dead. Eddie Brock is without a symbiote at the end, and he's like, oh, he goes to New York, and he's like, you always want to see New York, buddy. I'm here. You're in me. You're with me in spirit. That piece of the symbiote in the MCU is the key to everything because he can reunite with it, right?
yeah,
So, yeah, it's a little piece. It's not the entire thing. But if they're smart enough, when Null comes in, as the symbiotes start pouring in, maybe Venom takes over one of the lesser symbiotes and then we get a new one. But still,
mhm,
the Venom and Spider-Man clash is not earned at all. There's
yeah,
nothing there, like you're saying. It's like Marvel
yeah,
Spider-Man 2.
mhm.
Imagine if we get to the third act and there was no Venom and then suddenly Venom appears. He's like, "I'm here, everybody." You're like, "Boy, this makes the game even worse." Great,
Yeah, because like they tried to give that animosity to each other to each other from the first time they tried to cross over,
Hmm.
where you see Venom just looking and it's like, I hate that guy. And
Yeah.
so why would wait, no, why would you hate that guy? And then like later on, and so it's because it's a multiversal nexus. So every version of Venom would know if they wanted to, because they all have a hive mind, and
Uh-huh.
in the multiverse, hundreds of millions of probably have, tangled with Spider-Man or a Peter Parker or a version of
Yeah.
Spider-Man, and that's where all the animosity, because they keep getting rejected. So I was like, yeah. At this point, like, I don't really like. I would want to see Tom's version of, I guess, the symbiote suit, and then at that point just go into Secret Wars and then like never see Venom again. That's or this version of Venom again anyway.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Like, I wouldn't even mind if somehow there's Eddie Brock
Mhm.
in the MCU that's Tom Hardy, and he just ends up getting it, and the symbiote's like, Eddie, and he's like, do we know each other? And they kind of
Mhm.
reframe Eddie Brock in the symbiote, and it's just,
Yeah.
whatever. But like, I've this is definitely Sony's doing. It's not Marvel Studios
Yeah.
demanding Venom is in this. They don't want it. We've
Yeah.
known for years they don't want it. They wanted Craven for 3 films now, but Sony
Yeah.
kept saying no.
Yeah, and then they find out that all the reason why they kept saying no is because they wanted to use them.
They wanted to botch him so he can't be fixable.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Craven's going to be a decent movie, but still, you guys get what I'm saying. Like, Sony wanted their hands on it.
Well, yeah, and like seeing the corporate juggling of these characters, especially, is very sad, because
Hmm.
when we talk about like how Marvel wanted to use like Craven. Another thing people might not know, especially on the comic side, where since that happened, if if anyone's a fan of like Ghost Spider, Gwen Stacy,
Hell
Spider
yeah.
Woman, if you're a fan of her, the reason why she came to the main 616 and hasn't had like any kind of like major milestones or even like new villains, you can blame Sony and Marvel
Yep.
for fighting, because from what the writers have stated, like in interviews and stuff, the reason why certain characters can't appear, the reason why they can't evolve certain characters, is because Marvel is afraid that Sony will take them, use
I
them,
mean,
and ruin them.
like,
So
Miles Morales is a prime example. That's one of the most successful
yeah,
characters in the last 30 years that
yeah,
Marvel has invented. And the
yeah,
moment he hit big,
yeah.
Sony was like, hey, it's a
Yeah.
spider character. You're like, oh.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing, is that, um, especially for Miles, like Miles has a kid has now he has the villains, but for whatever reason, Sony's afraid to mess it up, so
Uh-huh.
they won't really mess with that. But with other
Yeah,
characters, it's open season, and
exactly.
that's, I guess that's where Marvel comes in, and it's like, yeah, no, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, right, to an extent. And it's like, you can help, like, paint the lines, but yeah,
Right.
we're not letting you
Th-
have full control and free reign over everything, just to
right, right.
just to see it go all over the place and down the toilet.
Exactly. That's why I'm like excited for whatever Spider-Man 4 is, in part because like they
Yeah,
keep teasing Miles might appear as well.
yeah,
It's like, all right,
yeah,
we'll see.
because like for the longest time, um like, it's been rumored saying that they've been fighting back and forth because they want a, street level stuff for a couple of the characters, including
Hmm.
Spider-Man. And Sony's like, No, we want multiverse because, it makes the
Yeah.
big bucks." It's like, It potentially makes the big bucks, not all the time." And he goes, "But it makes big bucks and we need it." And it's like, No, it's like class, like, no, you don't really need it. It's
It
just
didn't
that,
help the Flash, did it? And
yeah,
that
no,
had every multiverse you can imagine in
yeah,
it. So like
it's
what?
like, yeah, it's like, it didn't help the Flash. Technically, it didn't help Ant-Man or even
Nope.
Kang. It barely helped a few characters and right the ship.
It didn't help the Marvels at all. Like,
Yeah,
and that features a multiverse thing. So
yeah, and it's like, when it's earned, it helps. But going back to at least a level to what characters are, understandable, and people
yeah.
can get to know them, and go along the ride or evolution of the character with them.
Hmm.
That's the way to go, and that's where I guess you could see them trying to, at least have some leeway with each other,
Yeah.
saying, hey, if it's not technically, if it's not a, full on multiverse, we'll let you do this.
Right,
But
right.
um like with the Venom stuff, I'm like the jury's out on that one. And then with the Knull, it's like, why are you gonna waste a universal threat like that for this?
Well, it's like I find it funny that Null mentions the Void, and
Mhm.
then we got the confirmation that apparently we're gonna see Sentry in the MCU becoming the Void and like tapping into all that energy. You're like, man, they're really gonna connect this up. Wouldn't it be
Yeah.
something if somehow Sentry's responsible in a multiverse way for bringing
Oh,
Null in or
come on,
something?
man.
Like,
Don't don't
yeah,
don't do that.
yeah,
Like for everyone who like wants to know like the references, technically that's how Sentry came into the to the 616 with all this
Mhm.
multiverse stuff. And oddly enough, a lot of the like weird things that happen with the multiverse that happens with Sentry. Like it's like with his creation coming or his creation coming into the 616. You can
It's
even
good.
blame him. You can even blame him for the zombies.
Sentry's too OP. That's the problem with him. So you got to be like, hey, we got an event coming up. Sentry could solve this no matter what.
Yeah. Where is he? Oh, he's off.
Yeah.
He's off world.
Whoops, we
Why?
forgot. Which,
That's the weirdest
yeah,
thing though. Is like he's so OP. Is like Sentry or like Boom Marvel can help, but why are they not helping? They're off world right now. But why?
that's it. Add Sentry to Spider-Man 4 to fight Venom and Null. There we go. That's a film, all right.
Yeah,
That's
there's a lot. Well, you
oh,
can add a lot of characters
oh yeah,
if they're gonna do the well a version of the King in Black arc.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, you really can. So, there we go. Well, everybody, thank you for watching that video. And as always, you can like, subscribe, share, do whatever you will. Check out the recommended video that's popped up somewhere on the screen. And also, if you would like additional content, including more discussions and more unfiltered content, check out what we offer to the members section, which has new videos going up all the time.